go, Meester. Okay. Part of what I do for a living is take things that are unloved, unwanted, secondhand, and make them over and give them new life. Though this is a huge grouping over the next 2 videos because we're kissing on Easter here. I'm going to do a whole bunch of these, see how many of them I get done because they were on my to-do shelf, and share with you the process of giving them new life. Yes, so the items behind me, this is like a little 2-part because we're kissing on Easter, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to grab some stuff off the shelf. Some of it you might have already seen, some of you haven't seen in hauls, but they all need to be made over whether I've shown them in a haul or not. So I'm going to see how much I can get done, and then I'll separate the 2 into 2 videos, and you kind of be surprised. I'm going to start off with this little piece. Though I've done similar pieces, this is definitely a paper towel holder, not a grocery store roll. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, take the handle off, take the base off, because I don't know if you notice, it's kind of cockeyed. Hopefully I can straighten that out. See if we can get, I think, oh, yep, that just comes out like that. So that'll be easy. So yes, just a paper towel holder. And the last couple ones I've done, though yet again, they've been general store, have been, they're quick sellers. I know the handle is cute, but you can't set any decor on it or anything if you have a handle. So I'm going to be removing the handle. Oh, it's been there a while. I'm hoping to be, but I might have to get in with a, let me see, is it just the metal has twisted? Let me see there, that the metal itself has twisted. I think that's exactly what it was. It just needed a little help, maybe, because they're not as fun to get back together as you think because of this little feature here. So I'm gonna fill those in. Yeah, I think I did it. Yeah, it just needed a little tap, tap, tap. So I think the screw is just loose. So we'll just get that tightened up. Take some of this wood air dry clay. We're going to use it as a filler. Fill in these holes. And then set that off to the side and let it dry. There's, as I said, there's a couple down here. I don't know why. My job is just to make it a little bit better. And then to make it easier to paint and work on, tape this in place so that it's not falling down as I'm working on it. And then I'm going to tape off the bottom. The bottom is nice and clean. This is an older piece. This is an older piece. Well, I don't know. I mean, it might be vintage, not an antique. But okay, going to do some sanding. Okay, our holes are filled. We're sanded. Now I'm just going to wipe it down with some Dawn dish soap, some hot water. Okay, I'm going to use some shellac as a primer to help my next paint that I'm put on here stick on. Brush it on because I don't want to try to tape off those metal areas because sometimes your tape doesn't get as close as you want it. You leave a gap anywhere or paint builds up. So I'll just go gingerly around those spots. We say 3 times the charm. I don't know. The last paper towel holder that I did, the last 2, I painted pantry door. So why why bother changing now, right? So again, it's not the same exact design, but it's close. So Sweet Pickins pantry door, a nice classic green. So you saw me put 4 scoops in, but I'm only going to put 3 scoops of water in, and because I want my paint to be a little bit on the thicker side. It is a pretty green, bright and cheerful. And you think, oh, it's a little bit watery, but you stir it for 2 minutes, make sure that everything's incorporated, and you sit it off to the side, and it does thicken up. Okay, start off with my hard area first. I like the Stahlmeister brushes, if I'm saying that right, because of that little fine tip. And even if I do touch the metal, until you seal milk paint in, you can wipe it off with a wet cloth. So when I'm pushing the milk paint around, because I make it thick, I'm not pushing in like that. I'm just kind of letting it just leveling it out. Oh, look at that crackle. Hello, beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and get it sanded, see what chips, see what distresses. Now, because this is going to be like, your wet hands are going to touch it and stuff, I'm going to use weather dispense to seal the paint in. I think it's dark enough, the wood's dark enough that it shows all the yumminess. The crackling turned out amazing. Now this little guy's cute, but I don't have any luck selling burgundy. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I really just need to paint over. There's really not any top coat on here. I am going to scuff sand it a little bit because we got some rough edges. Whatever I can get into to scuff sand, and we'll just give it a new color. I do have a thing about that really raw wood where it grabs every little spider, cobweb. So hopefully I can get quite a bit of it sanded. I do a little bit with you, but I like to dust my stuff. I like to dust my stuff. I'll know it's sanded if it doesn't grab my rag, right? When I'm wiping it down. For that little stool, I'm just going to use Sweet Pickens Lantern. So whatever you put on top of it will just pop. I have a couple black stools, little benches like that myself, and I absolutely love them. So I think black is a good color. So Sweet Pickens is a powder paint. I use a lot of milk paints. You mix with water. You just kind of have to figure out your ratio. The direction says to do equal parts, but you just have to play with it as you learn. Start off with my hard area first, the inside. The inside, the upside. And I made my paint a little bit thicker, so I think I should be able to get away with one coat. Especially this black is so heavily pigmented that, and of course this wood is very dry. If your paint gets thick as you're working on it, just add a little dab of water. It's amazing what just a little bit will do. You want to give yourself a workout when you're trying to get paint to go on. Okay, my paint is dry. We're going to go ahead and sand it. See what we have coming through. That sanded very nice, nice edges. I had 80 grit on there so it would go past the burgundy into the wood. Yes, there's still a little bit of burgundy. It still has a little bit of its story. I'm going to use Fusion's aging wax to seal it all in. You got to seal your milk paint in with something. And I always try to go dark especially when I'm doing, like I could do black, but we're going for that primitive vibe there. See, then instead of the black sealing in and you're not seeing that distressing, the aging is getting in there. Handmade, homemade piece. You can actually still see like where it is. There is nothing perfect about this piece. So I love the wooden knobs. I think the knobs are cool. So I'm just going to try to do something because you can see all the numbers on here. Oh, yeah, it is so imperfect, but we're going to take those out. I'm going to take the knobs off. I'm going to leave the knobs the wooden color. I'm trying to decide if I just, well, they wrote on that part too, so I don't know. Somebody's shop project? I don't know. Kind of fun. Oh, I'm hoping to be able to get these off. They've probably been on here for a while. Oh, the thought was to get them on, but I don't know. I don't think I have. And then I don't want to, like break it either. Okay, maybe. Come on. Or if I think am I just spinning it around? I don't know what I'm doing with it. It's just going for a joyride. Sometimes you can't fix stuff sometimes, so sometimes you just leave it. This one, oh my gosh, look at it is so crooked. And I'm not. It's character and charm. So let's get it cleaned out. I think, it's a handmade, homemade piece. It has so much character and charm. I just feel like just the front. I know it has writing, and I don't know. It kind of tells the story, y'all. Like you can, I think it's kind of, yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me see here. We have 3, 2, 2, 4, 5, 1. There's 2 4s. Maybe that's a 6. I think that maybe the 6. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, and 6. Oh, maybe glue that down with some Star-Bond. Gotta love Star-Bond. The accelerator helps dry it. Squirts of the activator. I don't think anybody else was loose. That's why I needed to sand it a little bit. That's why I wanted to put the numbers on the back. So to paint these little, I'm going to go in with Storm, which is a blue. The lighter the color, the more it shows the imperfections. And I think this will match okay with the wood. I think. I'm not really looking for it to chip off. Oh my gosh, it's just, I'd love to know the story. Like, was this a Christmas present for Dad and a child made it? Somebody's first woodworking project. Working with Grandpa out in the workshop. See, there's just so much behind it. It's just like, oh, that's where you wish there was a little note on it. But yeah, I didn't think the pencil would sand off. So I can sand this to give it some age and distressing and darken it up with waxes if it dries and it's not exactly the color I want it to be. So I'm going to go in with a fan brush so I can very gingerly go around, and I'm going to try to just keep it on the front face because there's a lot of imperfections on the side. Normally I would tape off, but like I said, I think it's just going to kind of show more of the imperfections, which I like the perfectly imperfect. I like when a piece tells a story. If I was that family member, I would have been proud. Like, oh, you made this for me. The stories they can tell. Like, painting the rest of the box is not going to hide any more imperfections. We're just going to make them stick out a little bit more with painting the front of the drawers. It's just such a sweet little piece. So I'm just going to go by hand, do some sanding. And I want to go rough on those little knobs. Definitely got to give it some more age to match the rest of the piece. Fusion's aging wax. Basically, it's just sealing the paint in, so it's not changing it too awful much. Not that I can really get into the inside, but it's really hard to. I thought, well, why not? Why not? I don't think wax will do too awful much on this, so I'm just going to go in to finish trying to liven it and clean it a little bit with Howard's Restore and the dark walnut. It's amazing what a little liquid can do. Just liven it back up. I like Tina as much as the next person, but you want the thought of it being clean too, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think at one time somebody decided that they needed to paint the front of this spice. The knobs are in. Well, I don't know. That's like a metal knob. So I'm going to repaint probably the whole thing. Well, don't use that very well. Okay, set that up. Oh. Well, you never know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, that's okay. Get all the pieces and parts of stuff out of here. So, let's see. I'm gonna replace the knobs anyway, because we don't have them all. And like I said, that one's metal. Okay, good. Oh, nope, still have the knob on it. Okay. That. And then it needs help. So I like that they taped it. Oh, okay. I should be able to save that piece because that's just twisting. Okay. Get the rest of the tape off. Figure out how to salvage this. There was one stuck behind. So you all know I have these tools because my husband. I don't know if I never thought that I would ever use tools like this, but man, when you're fixing stuff, you sure do. Nope. The wood is so old, it's just going to destroy it. Okay, since that didn't work, I'm going to try just some CA glue. Push that where it needs to be. And we'll just hold it. Some things are decor purposes. I figured it was light enough that it would hold it down. Just a little extra. I can sand it, but I just want to fix it as much as I can. Okay, we'll set that off to the side, let that dry. Which way does this one go? Where do you go, mister? Okay, so you go here, there. Okay. Easier said than done. Is that a piece of tape or is it left? I don't know. No, I think it's not. So there again, I'm going to use some CA glue. Sometimes you stick yourself together. You stick yourself together. There's that. Okay, well, it was going to come apart anyway. Sure, where was this supposed to come in at? How? Oh, okay, it would have been here. I'm gonna sand whatever that is off, or buff it anyway. I'm gonna take these little hangers off here. Bleach or something. All the little things we do. We do. I'm going to keep the character of the back. No, it's not straight. It's got rolled edges. So what era was that when they started doing that? Just because there's paint, I'm going to make a line. Wasn't my paint. Okay, we'll just get them all cleaned off now. Dawn dish soap, hot water, warm water. So I'm going to go ahead and prime these with shellac. That's going to seal whatever paint is left over into that. Fill in that really raw wood. Didn't have to worry about filling in the holes because I'm going to be replacing the knobs. Got a lot of little, what is it, 8 drawers. I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint it green. Salty Kiss by DIY. The nice thing about it's hard to really see the color until it's dried and painted and changed a little bit with some wax. It won't end up as bright of green. All depends on how you want to finish it. The nice thing about DIY paint is you can take a heat source and you can dry it in between coats. But I have to be careful because I shellacked underneath this. So you don't want it to bubble up your shellac. I'm going to go ahead and seal my first coat in. DIY paint can be water distressed, and sometimes it just kind of just takes your first coat off. So I have spray shellac, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Especially since I'm covering up something so dark. kind of a hard area to tape. Go. I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on these and see what we get. Go in with aging wax. It's like my go-to wax. And that's really going to change that very bright green color into something else. It's like magic. And the more you wipe on it, the more you're taking it off. So once you get it on, you just get it on and then set it off to the side and let it dry. Okay, I'm going to seal, yes, you can seal on top of wax. So I'm using Weather Defense to seal this in. I'm so glad that booth always seems to have these little knobs. They pretty much do go with almost everything. And then I just have to, so I get those out of, every once in a while a guy has them in his booth, and so I buy whatever he has. I need to, oh, take the tape off. That would be helpful. Looks so much better. Oh, yep, they do. I wasn't sure if I was going to need the longer ones or the shorter ones. Screws and the nuts off of Amazon, but well worth it. I buy 2 different screws just because some items are thicker than others. So there we go.